Hi, guys. Sorry I'm a little late. Some technical difficulties along the way. But so glad there are people here. There are people here already. What? What's that about? So good to see you guys. Happy Sunday, and hope you guys have had a good Thanksgiving. Hope you have. Um, it's so good to see you guys. Please hit the like button while you're here. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. And welcome to Real Talk with Lisa. I have to say, before we do anything, thank you to all of you who have left the detailed comments. I've gotten emails since the last video. Everybody's really been providing, their own stories, and I love this. I love that everybody is so comfortable that they are. I think we've really started something here, guys. I think this is cool that everybody is comfortable enough in this space to really share their own experiences, whether it's their own or friends, loved ones, or anything like that. So, although there may be a giggle along the way, I do want us to really talk about the serious stuff. That is what this particular live stream is about. So I'm excited about it. And I love that there was so much good feedback on it. So thank you to all of you who shared what you shared. And I want to hear more from you. Again, I don't have any itinerary for the evening. I don't have a specific thing to talk about. I just kind of want us to kind of ease into it and say hello to each other and kind of see where this goes. And it's probably not going to go much longer than an hour, but if we get carried away, so be it. So who's here today? Let's see. Who's here? Incognito user. Hello. Teresa. Sherry. Karen. Nancy. Teresa Levine. Linda Gonzalez. Susan. Hi. Denise. Hello. Sissy. Mimi. Nancy. Let's see. Holly. Hi. Terry Solaris. Hello. Good. Oline. My Tribe Tarot. Tana. Awesome. I love it. Butterflies are free. Geek Hillbilly. I said Geek Hillbilly. Like there's an ability there. Geek Hillbilly. Nice. Shay Kitty, Heather, Kathy. Hi, guys. So here we are again. Like I said, I don't have a set topic to throw on the table, but this is our open forum to kind of talk about anything that's on our mind. The tough topics. I want to do this. This is a regular thing, guys, whether you like it or not. That on this show, without the cocktails, this is definitely what we need to do, because I am not poo-pooing tarot. I'm not poo-pooing oracle cards, mediumship, none of that stuff. I think it's important to foresee what might be coming down the line for all of us, but I think it's important to address what's going on currently and figure out how to handle it, how to be a part of the resolution of it. And those are things that I think we need to talk about. Because I do think, and I do it too, it is so easy to get tied up into the, oh gosh, how many months till this? Who's going to go to jail? how many indictments, and all that stuff. But with the climate of what's going on today, when it boils down to it, you can get whatever reading you want or whatever question you ask. But when you wake up that next morning, the main question is, how am I going to handle today? How am I going to make sense out of what happened to me yesterday? Because I think something has probably happened to people. And it's not just racial, it's not just religion, it's not just any one thing. There is one thing I kind of want to bring up. Well, let me look at the comments real quick, see if I'm missing anything. I mean, I haven't starred anything. It's nothing like that. I'm not throwing cards tonight. That is not happening. This is us talking. Yes, incognito user. Here we go. And when I say starring, I mean, I'm not starring questions for readings later. I'm going to pin stuff for sure. But incognito user said, if you don't fix the present, the future will be broken too. Yes, for sure. My Tribe Tarot, I will say, I think America needs to address its history, and I don't think we'll heal racially as a nation until it happens. It's the elephant in the room that used to keep us divided. Yes. Hi, Christine. Hi, everybody I've missed. Hi, Mama Bear, Tammy, all you guys. Thanks for being here. So, Denise, the indictment may not come in this lifetime, but it'll be harder in the next. Yes, for sure. All right. So, one thing I kind of want to talk about, I mean, it's not going to be like a whole night thing. It's just something I just want to throw out there. I think it's really interesting that everything in the States is so black and white. Black and white. There are so many other ethnicities, guys. And I think that sometimes things tend to fall into just those two categories because we're accustomed to it. And because there's so much with that, right? I mean, that's the struggle. That's our historic struggle here, is the black and white. And I do, not to take away from that, because that history is important. I mean, it's part of my history, the struggle of that. But I do like that it has turned into more brown and white. Now, I don't know that that's categorically kind of defined as what I think it is. I've always seen that as more inclusive of the other things other than Caucasian. But there's so many we're so much more diverse. I don't want to take away from the other ethnicities that have issues. Asian, West Indian. I mean, anything. It just doesn't matter. It's across the board. Everybody has a tendency to put their preconceived notions out there, and it really isolates everybody. Geek Hillbilly said Klingon. We can throw that in there too, guys. Absolutely respect the Klingons. There's no issue with that either. But yes, there's a lot to consider. But like I said, I don't want to take away from, gosh, yeah, the black-white thing. That goes way back. But let's see what else here. Holly said, our country categories are minority or white. You can thank the Republicans of this. Yeah. The categories. Oh, the categories. So much. Hi, Kevin. Kevin said, yes, unchecked hate speech and Christian nationalism is literally killing us. Yes, it is. If anything, I think that the fact that we are just if it's just us guys in a little room, just us talking about these things. Oh my gosh, that's like the start of something really cool. This is really, I think if we do this enough, just amongst ourselves, we'll be more comfortable to talk about these things outside of this. This is, I've admittedly, I've told you guys before that this is not, it's such a touchy topic, and it's stuff that I don't necessarily skirt around because I'm worried about what somebody will think about what I say. But you don't want to offend, and there's a lot of tippy toeing. But in doing so, I think we unintentionally not recognize people different from ourselves in one way or another. So it's good to have these chats and stuff and throw stuff out there and check each other on stuff. If I'm wrong on something, guys, put it in there. Same with each other, because you only know what you're told or what you have experienced, and if somebody else has a different experience, they need to share that, and I think that's a big deal. Everybody's still in there. You all are saying so much stuff in there. I can't post it fast enough. Let's see here. Oh my gosh. Okay. You know what? I'm going to do this one. Yes. Hypnicity. Can you imagine Archie Bunker being aired today? No. All those shows. Archie Bunker, The Jeffersons, Sanford and Son. I mean, if you watch that stuff now, it's a whole thing. Maud, I'm all about, you know me, guys, I'm all about a good joke, right? But, however, there's sensitivity with that too. It probably, I bet it's so hard to be a stand-up comedian now with everything that's going on, but it's really difficult to, you want to laugh with and not laugh at. It's okay to point out the stuff and to be witty about it, but to be demeaning about it. I think there's some finesse with that has to happen. That's a skill in itself, severely right now. So anybody that can pull that off today, congratulations to you, because it's tough. It is tough. Let's see what Susan's saying. When people start learning and believing that we are all connected, maybe the prejudices will stop. Maybe they will. Yeah. This is all actually leading me towards something here, guys. I hope we're okay to talk about this. It's something that comes up in my bubble, and I've heard and seen people say stuff about it, but it's really popular to say, oh, hee-haw. Yeah, same thing, Heather. And some of you may say it as well. And I'm not, I want us to be open-minded about this. I do think that a lot of people have a tendency to say, I don't see color. I don't see color. I kind of want to talk about that for a minute and see what you guys feel about when you hear somebody say, I don't see color. Before I throw in what I want to say, I want to see what you guys, you know what? I'm just going to put, hang on. I don't see color. What does that mean to you? I had a friend recently show me I think it was a TikTok or something like that. That somebody was explaining their understanding of that. So, yeah, what do you guys think? My tribe, Tarot said, I don't see color as gaslighting to me. It's dismissive. Lisa Foster, I don't believe it. Shay Kitty, that's hurtful. Susan, first thought is bullshit. Karen Dean, I would hate being colorblind. Running away from home, I find that they believe that automatically signifies that they're not prejudiced. I love that I'm adding syllables to words, guys. I do that. Yeah, I've told you all, I get nervous doing this. I will get better as this goes along, I promise. It's a difficult topic, huge responsibility. Bear with me. So, yes, everybody's got great things to say in there. And I totally expect all of you to respond the way you are right now. Oline, the two most disturbing videos I've seen this week are the Colorado shooters, Dad the Nazi there. Oh, yeah, that's the whole thing. Incognito user, it's not the color of your skin, it's the type of life you live in it. Okay. Yes. Okay. I love what you all are saying. Okay. Here's my thing. Yes, I agree. To hear someone say, to be in a conversation with someone, and this is just me talking about my experience. When I have been in a conversation with someone and they say, I don't see color, my first impression is they're trying. Total benefit of the doubt there, because I think that on their end, the indication is that they are throwing out there that I see you as being like me. So I'm really not poo-pooing that statement 100%. But to the root of it, there is an underlying thing. And like I said, I don't think when people say that they intend for it to be a certain way. But as a person of color, if I hear that, it does sound very dismissive. It makes me feel like you are not recognizing whoever that is of color. You're not acknowledging that they have a uniqueness, their own individuality, something worth recognizing. It's really pushing it to the side and saying, well, I don't see color. You're just like me. Well, not 100%. I mean, everybody is, we are all of the same vein. We really are. But there's so many little flavors in between, and all those things need to be recognized, because if I see someone who doesn't look like me, yeah, I'm going to recognize they don't look like me right off. Which is such the flippy floppy. I think that says a lot about the balance, really, of our nation, is that I've never looked at anyone who is not of color and said, "Oh, I don't see color." I mean, flip it around, and it's a little different, isn't it? When you think about it, me walking up to someone who's Caucasian, saying, I don't see color. Somehow that's different to me to flip it. It's almost like the feeling is like, oh, they're like throwing you a bone a little bit, doing you a favor. But that's not their intention, throwing it out there, is what I'm saying. So that's where I'm crossing into the difficulty of the topic for me to talk. It's it's so touchy. But like I said, I'm really, it's that Libra thing, guys. I'm able to see both sides of a bunch of stuff. So I totally see where it comes from when somebody throws it out there. I think they're being super sweet and they're really throwing themselves out there and they're really trying to uh, relate and find that common denomination and stuff. But you don't really want to say those things. You want to recognize it. It's like, yes, I see that you're different from me, and let me get to know you. Let me get to know you better. And you're important in the way from in where you come from. That's important. It's not to be overlooked. So, yes, love the flavors. Exactly, Denise. Yeah. I've missed a bunch of comments, I'm sure, but I hope you guys know what I'm saying about that. And I hope I expressed that well. I, as usual, will look at the chat stuff after the video's over and see what everybody's saying, because I'm sure I've missed a bunch. But next time anyone says, I don't see color, just kind of think a little bit about how that can be construed. Again, not intentional. I'm not, anybody that has ever said that to me, I don't take it as a slam. The intent is good, but there's so much behind that. No, it's like, no, recognize that I'm different. Yeah, I'm a little different. That's fine. But on the same note, oh, we're the same. There's so many layers to things. And also, I mean, like with anything, where you come from, how you grew up, your experiences. I grew up in an environment where it was not heavy on the ethnicity, but by God, growing up, we knew we were all different, and we talked about how different we were, but we shared the same experiences. We had the same love of music and the arts and sports and fun, and to find that common denominator on stuff was everything. And did we always think about the race thing? No, probably 1%. Kids are kids. I think a lot of that kind of gets filtered in as you grow up. You get the outside influences. You realize the struggles. You get pushed out into society, the workforce. You're noticing that different things are being handled different ways, and people are being hired differently, treated differently, and you learn that shit along the way. But just as kids, yeah, it's like, yeah, look at all these little flavors we got going on here, and how fun it is, and let's all explore that together. But when you, I think as everybody gets older, that's when it gets weird, and that's when it gets confusing. And that's when everybody worries the most about the categories and all those things. So, and like I said, I'm missing all kinds of stuff in here. I feel like I'm talking in the background while you guys are just handling your own. You all are solving problems in the chat without me. So, whatever. Whatever works, I don't care. However this works, let's do this. I don't care what the format. If this is working for you guys, yay. And again, hit the like button. And leave a comment after, that whole thing too. It looks like Kevin said something super wise in there. I'm sure I completely missed it. Oh, yes. We misuse the language. When we say, I don't care about color orientation, we should care deeply. Yeah, we should, for sure. Yes, hypnicity. Yes, the space is for you guys. I'm just the hostess with the mostest up here. This is for all of us. So you do your thing in there for sure. Let's see here. Geek with some Star Trek shit in here. Infinite diversity and infinite combinations are the forces that make truth and beauty. The Vulcan IDIC from Star Trek. And, guys, this does not, it doesn't just stop at the human race. We're going beyond. We're covering all frontiers tonight. We are uniting everyone for sure. Let's see here. Scroll up. Denise, I don't tend to look at the color of their skin, but more of what's coming out of their mouths. Girl. You know what? If I can find that on here, I saw that on the phone. If I can find that, I'm going to pin that. That's, yes. That is everything right there. Thank you, Denise. Yes. Well, what's coming out of their mouths? And depending upon what's coming out of their mouths, that's when you make your choices. That's when you make the important decisions. That's when you decide to use your own judgment. And if you need to distance yourself from someone with random stuff coming out of their mouths, it's not appealing to you, don't be violent. Don't be aggressive. Step away. Step back. Love and light. Move on. That's all you can do. But yes, right on, Denise. Love and light. I need a tattoo that just says love and light because that's everything. All right. Everybody's like, yes, for sure. What's another thing I want to talk about? Is there anything you all want to talk about other than what we've talked about so far? Has anybody run into anything weird? Gosh, I can think of examples all day long. I got an excellent email from a friend of mine recently who watched the last video. Doesn't have a channel. Love him dearly. And he pointed out that where he lives, there is there's a Walmart there. And he is of color. And they call it the Black Walmart. And he's Black. And his friend is also Black and says that he does not like to go to the Black Walmart because there's too many Black people there. So I want to talk about that. And you can fill in the blank with Black. I mean, it could be whatever your thing is, guys. Where I'm going with this, if I can explain this well, it's a case of someone really putting their own race down and not being supportive. And why would you not go to that Walmart? What's the thing? I think that the point is there's a lot of learned behavior in our actions. And I think that when, particularly with my race, if you are presenting yourself verbally or something like that verbally to others, it encourages that discrimination. That's not cool. I don't like that. I think that is completely detrimental to the cause. It's very difficult to take a stance on racism if you're contributing to the problem. I totally get where that comes from. But on the same note, that's a form of racism that is so hard to explain. Within everyone's community, whether it be um, income or religion or race or whatever, humans have a tendency to separate within themselves. In the Black community, we turn on each other with things. Uh, in other communities, that happens. It's not right. And I think a lot of that comes from trying to conform a little bit to fit in. Call that adult peer pressure bullshit. Go to that Walmart as a Black person and be proud to be in that Walmart. Put that, pump that money in there. Bring that Walmart up. There's nothing wrong. Why are there probably predominantly Black people there? Maybe it's a Black community. Does that make it lesser than any other store? No. There's just Black people there. I just, that kind of stuff gets on my nerves. And some of it cannot be, oh my gosh, this is like turning into a way bigger thing. Just economically, it might be an area where, oh, and that's not even, it's not cool either. I can't even say that. I think that we all have a tendency to think that oh my gosh. I feel like this could like be 4,000 other videos. I have so much to say, guys, about this. You've got all these big time money moguls going into areas and making things super expensive for one area, and you're making sure all the stores are in this end of town, and then like shit on that end of town. And if you are in the shitty end of town, growing up that way, I mean, what a oh gosh, it's like you're climbing up a rope that never ends. I think that itself can totally put you in a state of mind where it's you feel like everything's kind of coming down on you. The opportunities aren't there. The schooling's not there. It's not right. Oh, that's a whole other thing too. The lack of access, the lack of employment, the lack of education, the overall lack of opportunities. Okay, I'm doing that thing. I'm squirreling all over the place. All right, let me get back in the chat and see what you guys are talking about here. Yes, my tribe tarot. I think you're saying sometimes there's an automatic association between Black and bad experience, and Black people do it too. No. Yes. That's exactly what I'm saying, my tribe tarot. There is that automatic association, which isn't cool. And that's and that in itself is so bullshit. And Rochelle is trying to get on. She's like, what is Black Walmart? Walmart is not owned by Blacks. That's a label to segregate. Yeah. The segregation's real. There's and even here, I've had there's a distinct difference in different areas in my city, and it's not cool at all. It's different areas tend to battle against each other, and there are predominantly Black areas, and there are predominantly white areas. If we're just going to talk about those two races, because apparently on Earth those are the only two races that exist. you know which pisses me off. Oh my gosh. There's so much in between. And there's no distinct. Guys, look at your family trees. Not everybody's 100% anything. It's like get fucking over yourselves. You've got a lot of stuff in there, guys. I got a lot of stuff in there too. But outwardly, physically, we all have our thing. But yes, everybody's talking about census stuff. Yes. But yes, there are problems here physically with where you live. And Aspie, hi Aspie. Aspie said Memphis, Tennessee is unofficially segregated as well, except in the more artsy areas. It's quite segregated here. Nobody really talks about it. Oh, it's here. It's here. You know, it's really prominent. It's definitely the topic nobody talks about. And I mean, to the point where, seriously, if I'm just meeting someone myself, they automatically think that I'm from the West End. And I'm not from the West End, but I'm black. Does that make me any better than anybody in the West End? No, not at all. There's plenty of people in the West End. They're way better than I am. Whatever you define as being better. But there's so much geographical shaming where I live, along with all the other stuff, political, religion, the way you look, where you come from, all that stuff. How much money you got, how much money you don't have, who you know. Bullshit. And that's everywhere. I'm sure it's everywhere. Look at all you guys. Yeah. Communities within communities is commonplace, yes. So there's that. Gosh, how long we've been on for 37 minutes. I'm like I'm like tired. I do like that I'm not crying as much in this one. The last video I did, I was pretty weepy. I made it a point to decide I was going to be a little bit more coherent this time around, but I am kind of bouncing all over the place. Only because it's such a everything that I read that you all are saying in there, it triggers me back to an experience, and then I've got my own things going on in my mind, so I'm really squirreling all over the place. But I do want this to be a loose conversation like what we are doing, and whatever I'm not catching in there, you all are catching it with each other. So works for me. Works for me. Sweet Salty said, I'm adopted. I don't know anything about anything. That might be the way to go, to not know anything about anything. Tammy said, we've all been groomed to fear the others. The others. I like that you said that, Tammy. That's a good point. We've all been groomed to fear the others. That's important. I think that makes a lot of sense. That sums up a lot just in that, Tammy, because I think you're right. I think we all have, really. And you saying that actually reminds me of something that I had not thought about. When I was small, I mean, not too small to walk around, I remember going to the store with my parents at the mall. There's a mall here called Oxmoor Mall. We were at Oxmoor Mall. It might have been around the holidays, actually. And I remember Mom we would park Dad somewhere while we shopped. And I remember us parking Dad somewhere, and we had bought some stuff, and I wanted to carry my stuff with me because I was so excited. I was like, oh, I want to take this with me to the next store. And Mom was like, no, you don't want to do that. Leave it with your dad. Leave it with Papa. And I remember not understanding why I couldn't keep the stuff that we bought with me. She never really went into deep explanation of that. She was just like, no, you need to leave your bags with your father. But I got it later. Her point was, because we looked the way we looked, the whole thing was it wasn't cool to bring an empty bag into another store for the fear you would be accused of putting things in that bag. Were there other people in the store, not of color, with all their bags and carts and Yes, there were. Not us. Always empty-handed. That was always a thing. And my God, that did not even click till just now. But yeah, that was a thing. That was huge. We never brought food, never brought drinks, and never brought bags into other stores. We would park Dad somewhere. He held all the bags while we continued shopping. I don't think that was so popular with everybody, but that was a total immediate family rule that we did. And like I said, when I was super small, I didn't get it. But later on, I was like, oh, okay, that's what they were doing. But it's not till like just this second right now that it's really hitting me that was the statement. She just didn't explain it to me then. She didn't lay it down. So things like that. Interesting. Geek Hillbilly said it's still like that. Is it still like that? Am I missing stuff? Hold on. I don't know. I mean, I kind of still do it now. I don't feel comfortable, but that's funny. It's funny what you don't pay attention to, but what you're used to. I do have a tendency to do the same thing today. I don't like bringing a bag. Oh, that's so funny. Okay, well, y'all caught that live. Revelation from Lisa. I have a tendency to not catch things 100% until later on. So there's that. All right, everybody's kind of saying their own thing in there. Yeah. Learned behavior. Yeah. For sure. Scrolling down here. I just like that y'all are all talking about your own thing in there. Suzanne, I see workers in security follow people of color around the store like they have a label on their back. Jeez, isn't that terrible? Yeah. Sherry said there's a great commercial where it shows different people buying a candy bar. The one black guy who bought his candy bar is the only one stopped by cops outside the store with warning it may not be a condom. Oh my God. Oh, that's terrible. Jeez. Christine's listening to me. Thank you. You talk about me or another Lisa in there. Thanks for listening. Geek Hillbilly. I was falsely accused of shoplifting one time. Boy, did they regret that. I sued that store into bankruptcy. Oh, Geek, don't mess with Geek, guys. Don't mess with Geek. And it's not about color with stuff like that either. The way you dress, the way you walk, the way you talk. Everybody has a tendency to really buy into a lot of that. And you'd be surprised, that person that you're thinking is completely off the rails and destitute. They probably got 5 times the amount of money in the bank than you do. Somebody who's, and I'll even go, let's not just talk about that kind of stuff, but just in general, being open with your heart, and your minds on stuff. Especially with the holidays here, guys. Um, let's get in the mode of really being considerate of the fact that some people might be going through some stuff. Um, Everybody's got their own story. Everybody has their own experiences. Everybody has their own stuff going on in their world. And I think it's really important that, especially, well, it should be all the time and every day. But since we're talking about the holidays now, I think it is important for everybody to recognize that somebody you come across or somebody you see might be really struggling right now. And it's really important to be kind and be mindful of that and embrace each other as much as you can and be as understanding as you can. Even if you've got that one buddy or that one relative that's going off the rails and being a complete asshole, there's something behind that. And there's something that's making them behave that way. And although they may be lashing out at you or lashing out at somebody you know and you love, they're going through something. It's a sensitive time. So that needs to be recognized too. Make sure, because, we can bitch and moan in here. We can talk about the tough topics and stuff like that. But I do think it's really important for all of us to recognize that there may be something happening with someone and they may not necessarily be talking about it. And that in itself translates into poor responses, shitty communication, bad behavior, maybe being a little withdrawn when they're not normally withdrawn, or maybe being a little bit too over the top to overcompensate. And there might be something else happening. Pay attention to that stuff. And make sure you're not always on the defense with everything, because I think that comes from something. Denise said, right, get fucking over ourselves. Yeah, I think that's important too. I hope you guys are still hitting the like button. Got 75 people in here. Yay, on a Sunday. Thank you. Everybody's talking to each other in there. Oh no. Hang on. Let me see. Gertrude said, I gotta highlight this. Hold on. Gertrude, what's going on in there? I might look like a mild Asian woman, but don't mess with me. Guys. Don't mess with Gertrude. Duly noted. Totally get it. I'm telling you, man. I love it. Oh, she's got more to say. Lisa, yes, we watched our parents being bullied without saying a word. Recently, I wondered about my triggers and realized it came from that. Yeah. I think that there might have been a lot of not speaking about things that has happened. But hey, here we go. We're talking about stuff. Look at us talking about things. Look at us talking about things, and there's like no bar fights happening in there. That's the dream. That's what I'm talking about. This is everything. Kevin's rolling in there. Let's see here. Hi, Scott. Didn't see you in there. Good to see you. Hi, Sharon Sipe. Did I say hi to you? Hi, Sharon. Thank you for typing everybody's links in there. Guys, Sharon Sipe, you all know the dispatch center of the spiritual community. She's watching everyone around the world and totally moderating in all the channels simultaneously. She's that good, guys. I'm not even so sure she's got a whole bunch of computers. I used to say it was like a dispatch center with all these monitors. She's so good. She might just be on a phone. She might be doing it from one phone. It might be an old phone. It might be a flip phone. Remember the old flip phones back in the day? Like the Razor and all that shit. She's that good that she's able to multitask on a flip phone. That's Sharon Sipe. I also love that Sharon Sipe is such a good sport because every so often I completely roast her and she takes it. Thank you, Sharon. Love you, girl. Patricia said 7 monitors. I don't know. I think it's a flip phone. She's that good, guys. I'm not kidding. Ashley said, I still have a flip phone. Call me analog. I love it. Oh, jeez. Okay. All right. Back to the matter at hand. Okay. So we're almost into it's almost been an hour. See, I think that oh, here we go. What's Sherry got to say? It wasn't until I was in my 40s that I realized that being a Southern white woman allowed my privileges that others didn't have. I went through most of my life never seeing that. And Sherry, I tell you what, and I've mentioned that before too. If you don't know, you don't know. I mean, roles reversed. If you grow up, you come into the world a certain way, you grow up a certain way, you're not exposed to different things, nobody's telling you anything, you don't know. There's no shame in that. And you can't be shitty about that. I do want, okay, I am going to say one thing, guys. Okay. I do firmly believe that anything, there, there's such an imbalance in the world. There is. And it is very different. Being a brown person or whatever color you want to throw out there, not necessarily brown. There's always that there are differences that you learn over time, and but I do want to say, and I kind of tapped on it for a moment about how within ethnicities we're not all that kind to each other on different levels. We manage to find a way to discriminate on that level as well. I mean, I've experienced it within my own community, if you want to say that. But on the same note, I do find it difficult. I'm going to go there. Oh my gosh, I hope I say this well. I do find it difficult to call racism anything other than when it's the majority lashing out at the minority. But people of color can discriminate against Caucasians. It happens. Now, I wouldn't say it's on the same level as what we define as being racism, because there's that power struggle there. People of color don't have that power that exists to really make a difference. But I think just in society, not so much on the larger level, there are people of color who are not fair against people who are not also people of color. That happens, guys. That does happen. And it's not right either. That's not cool. It doesn't solve anything. I think some of it is learned behavior somehow, and some of it is lashing out over the history and the experiences, and it makes you get angry. There's that the terrible joke of being the angry black woman, angry black man. Well, that anger comes from somewhere. But on the same note, that anger can be misdirected. And I think that needs to be recognized. So I'm going to totally go there on that. That's not a popular angle, but I am going to throw that out there. I don't think that's fair. I think that sometimes, I don't know, do you want to call it reverse something? I don't know. I don't know what to call it without it taking away from what the root of racism is. But it's definitely something that happens, and that's not fair either. Just because you are born a Caucasian male, female, and that is the general standard of the who has the privileges and things like those. That's not a license to categorize that either, because not everybody's the same, and not everybody's at fault. And oh gosh, I hope I'm going there well with this too. This is all, if anything, this particular live stream is an example of why I should probably write some things down. It's tough to go live and talk about this stuff without, because whatever's out there is out there, and if you say it poorly, it's out there. And I hope I am making sense. Nancy D said, Lisa, have a great evening. Hope you have wonderful dreams tonight. Kisses and hugs. Bye, Nancy. Hi, Sleuth Jill. Sleuth Jill said, Lisa, I mentioned last week on the Sunday 11/11 that I was born and raised in South Africa under the apartheid regime, and I have spent my entire life fighting for equality and in opposition to racism. Right on. Okay. Whew. If anything, I'm glad I'm not crying this time, guys. I'm getting a handle on it. Well, I'm spending less time talking about my family, so that's probably why I'm not crying as much. But this is getting easier. I was definitely the first time around. I was genuinely nervous. I'm still nervous. Yes, Denise. Oh dear God, apartheid. Yeah, that's a whole thing. Again, it's and that's the condition. That in itself is an example. My nervousness is an example of how we have all been conditioned to not comfortably talk about this stuff. It's you don't want to offend. You want to be clear. You want to share things without attacking anyone. You want to be understanding, and you want to be receptive. And there's so many other things. I just named 6 things right off. There's a responsibility with this. And like I said, I think if we keep doing this and talking about this, it doesn't always have to be race stuff. And again, everything's not just black and white, but that's my only experience is the black and white. So I probably am going to have a tendency to go there a lot of the time. But guys, it's a rainbow of issues. Don't forget that. Come away from this knowing that it's not just limited to black and white. Male, female, young, old, wherever you grow up, disabilities, mental states. Oh my gosh. How little attention is paid to people who have some kind of mental illness. That's like so taboo, right? It's still such a no-no. I think it's getting a little bit better, maybe, but how many people grew up with, if it wasn't in their family, but they knew a family and there was that one relative, that one neighbor that you just didn't discuss because they kind of had their own thing? That's a problem too. Those are things we can talk about too down the line if you all want to. It's everything. Hi, EQ's here. Isaac's here. Yeah, I love it. Hi, guys. I'm so glad you guys popped in. Thank you for being here, all you guys. Denise said it's so much harder to be female. It is. It's tough to be a chick. I can't begin to, I can remember, here's being a chick example I have. It's so subtle, but in middle school, we were all, I had a music course. We were told we could play an instrument, right? And the instruments I really wanted to play were I had decided on two. I either wanted to play the drums or the trumpet. I was kind of vibing on those. I was like, ooh, I want to play those. And my teacher, she distinctly said we had the choice. So I was like, hey, yeah, I want drums or trumpet. Well, she decided that I needed to play clarinet because just the boys played the trumpet or the drums. So I got my clarinet. I did my little thing for a couple of years. I didn't want to play it. I didn't like it. It wasn't what I wanted. Had I gotten the drums or trumpet, guys, I might be on tour today. I don't know. Of course, mom played every damn thing. And she was a music teacher anyway. Fluent on the piano. That was her thing. She never forced me to do the piano. I do wish I'd taken that up. There's a piano here. Maybe I'll learn it. If I can learn the piano here, I will play a little concert. I'm totally kidding. I probably won't be able to play it. But it's here. Mom's piano is here. Back to the topic at hand. Yes. That's a total example of sexism. I was totally driven toward an instrument I did not want because the boys were permitted to take my drums and trumpeting positions. That pissed me off. So, am I an expert clarinet player right now? No. I played it for a couple of years till I couldn't stand it anymore, and then I totally gave up playing anything that had anything to do with the clarinet. Total waste of time. But those things in themselves, I think, are examples of how uh, girls get discouraged um, in doing things. I'd like to think it's better now, but back in the day, totally steering you in one direction based upon their beliefs. And of course, were my parents all? My parents were like, "Let her play the clarinet, or let her play the drums and the." They actually they was sweet. They rented a drum set to see if that was really something I was kind of into. I tried to kind of do it on the side a little bit, but then I got all up in the sports, so I got away from the drums after all. So would I have been the big drummer? I don't know. Who knows? But it's the principle thing. So I always think about that. It's like, what if she let me do the two things I was so passionate about and so excited about trying to do? So yeah, the girls get a bad rap on shit like that. Oh, Kath 11. I play the trumpet. My mom plays the trombone. Oh, I love that. Oh, look at you guys. Denise, yeah, right. It is tough to be a chick. You're dealing with hormones. Oh my gosh, yeah. Oh God. The hormones, that's a whole thing. Suzanne, in grade 2, my teacher tried to stop me from playing hockey during recess. She was trying to encourage me to skip rope with another girl who had no one else. I did what I wanted. Right on, Suzanne. Skip rope, hockey. Hockey. Give me the hockey. I'd have been all about the hockey too, for sure. Let's see here. I had mastered skipping by then. That's hilarious. Oh. Arlene Forney, this racial stuff happened to me and my family just last night at the restaurant. We all had a big laugh on the way. Oh my gosh, Arlene, I can't imagine what happened. All right. I love this. EQ, playing the flute since 5th grade. Yeah, EQ can work the flute, guys. Yeah. Yeah, EQ, I got robbed. I could still feel the drums. I'm feeling it. I think I'm actually moving away from the trumpet. I think the drums were my thing. I think I could have killed it had I not been so turned off on it. I'm feeling it. Totally feeling it. Even now, everybody air guitars. I do air guitar. I do that too, but I actually have a guitar too, guys. But there's so much potential here, but nothing happening. Oh, thank you, Catherine. Thank you. Good night, Aries girl. Thanks for being here. Yeah, never too late, EQ. EQ, we need to get that band together. For sure. Hypnicity said my dad invented the air clarinet. Love it. Tammy, I wanted to play football growing up. I tried to sign up for the team. I was laughed at by the coaches. A girl play? God forbid. Yeah, I used to play football at home here all the time. It was cute because I've mentioned it before, as the fellas were getting bigger and stronger and stuff, I became all-time quarterback a lot of the time because they the sacks were hard, guys. I had to admit. But no, yes, girls can play football. They sure can. No shame in that. I did enjoy being all-time quarterback. Bye, Q. Thanks for lurking. Love you. Smooches for EQ. I don't know if Isaac's still here, but you get smooches too. Isaac's probably been long gone. Asked me, I had to wait until I was an adult with enough money to get bass guitars and a cello. Also, now tackling flamenco guitar. Look at you. Aspie. Oh, that's the dream. There's Isaac. Wee. I wish, I'm telling you guys, I've got so much. I love all music, all instruments. If I could play it all, it's just a matter of sitting down and doing it, man. It really is. I just have so much respect for that. And music was so prevalent here, so it's like, oh my gosh, why didn't I? Why didn't I try harder with some of that stuff? And I think some of it might be because of the clarinet fiasco. Not kidding. Denise, if a person is racist, they are also sexist, and they also don't give a rat's ass about Mother Earth. It's as simple as that. Yeah, kind of all goes in one bucket, doesn't it? Yeah. And yes, Holly. Yeah, music is so universal. Maybe that's why I like it so much. It is so universal. Trade the piano for a drum set? May have to, Susan. I don't know. I do love the sound of a piano, though. For sure. Tongue drum. Yes, those are cool. Oh, I love that, Tamik. And also, guys, there's a lot of you in here who do not have wrenches. I know I don't normally do that on this chat, but I'm doing it now. Sleuth Jill, you just got a wrench. Any other gray peeps in here? Kath 11, thanks for being here. You just got a wrench. Scrolling up a little bit here. Iris Stormo, hi. You just got a wrench. Going up a little further. Anybody else? That might be it. Every damn body's blue, so thanks for being here, guys, and thanks for your input. Marie Carmen lurking wrench. Right on. Oh, bye, Denise. Denise is leaving us. Bye. Thanks for the thumbs up, Isaac. Appreciate it. Everybody hit the thumbs up. I mean, we've been on for an hour and 12 minutes. I should probably start wrapping this up anyway. I don't like for these to go on too long, so we have more to talk about later on. So, we're getting more comfortable. We're talking about more things. We're going to please leave a comment afterward. I enjoyed all the comments that all of you left after the previous video. And if you all don't know, there is a previous video to this. This is part 2. I guess we'll just keep numbering them as we go, talk about different things. We're getting more cozy with this, and it's a safe space. There's enough of us to throw wrenches around and beat the shit out of anybody that comes in here and tries to make it not a safe space. So be it. But yes, please leave comments like you did on the prior live stream, and let us know how you feel. Vent, bitch and moan. That's fine, and come up with some topics that we can talk about down the line, because gosh, there's enough material for us to do this forever. So I hope you all had a great Thanksgiving. We're in the holidays. Be kind to each other, love each other. Sherry said, kind of hard to be prejudiced in your chat, Lisa. We're all Smurfs here. I don't see color. I'm just kidding. No, I see color. I see blue. I see blue. But yeah, you guys have a good night. Have a good week in whatever you're doing this week. And, just hold space for each other and take care of each other and take care of yourselves. Right? So, on that note, smoochies, hugs, not going for too long. And like I said, please leave a comment. Thank you, Julie. Thank you so much for your contribution. But yeah, let's keep this going, guys. This is fun. And we can do this for as long as you'd like, for sure. So I'll see y'all later. Bye.